Hey, this is Mark Henry, author of Dancing with Energy, Healing, Magic, and Mysticism, here to talk to you more about the occult and the paranormal. Well, today I'm going to be talking about a video that was suggested by one of my Patreon followers. That is Susan. So Susan, as a member of Patreon, is able to suggest videos. So let's go ahead and get started. So the topic of today's video is the planetary energies associated with the days of the week. However, we're not only going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about the moon phases briefly and how that affects magic. And while I'm talking about this, whether it's the planetary energies with the days of the week or the moon phases, those things are considered extra. They're not. If you don't do those things or don't take them into account, they won't necessarily guarantee that your magic will fail, of course, but if you want to add extra icing to the cake, definitely something to think about and to coordinate if you can. Now understand that certain things are pressing and they may need to just lift off rather than waiting until a Wednesday to do something related to communication magic or something like that. But, you know, if you could, then that would be something to take into account. All right. So the first thing to think about is the moon phases. So moon phases, of course, there's the full, the new moon, and then there is the waxing, which is the growing of the light, and the waning, which is the lessening of the light. So new moons specifically are good for new beginnings, new projects, growth. And from that new moon on would be the waxing in that direction. So that is for, it could be used for any type of magical context. It could be that you're doing a spell related to love, that you want to ever grow more powerful. It could be a financial spell that you want to increase the amount of money flowing into your life. It could be protection, obviously, because maybe you're in a situation where you need more protection and you're using the increasing light of the moon to that rhythm in order to project that into being. Now the waning, on the other hand, is just as important. That it almost has like a Saturnian type of energy to it, in the sense that it's more about if you want to create delays, if you want to lessen something, make something that is bigger go smaller. For example, let's say that you were doing some magic, health magic for yourself, and you were looking to reduce the symptoms of a chronic illness. That would be perfect for the waning, because, you know, of course you go from the full moon to the new moon in that direction. So you want the concept of something that's big and strong, and then you're making it less. It could also be used for reducing a threat. Somebody's attacking you, so you could use it just like you could use it for protection too, just in another aspect of that protection magic. Now, a good idea would be to use both the waxing and the waning in your planning of the magic. For example, to basically optimize the lunar energy. So for example, let's say that you wanted to use the waxing moon to increase healing from a chronic illness, again, let's say cancer. Maybe that's like you got a big project and you wanted to do that as far as a form of healing and health magic. You can use the waxing moon to increase your health, and you can use the waning moon for your work to reduce the symptoms. Of course, if you want to do something more on the left-handed path, a little bit darker, let's say that you wanted to put a curse on somebody, so you could use the waxing moon to increase some type of pain, emotional or physical, and the waning moon to reduce their vitality. Again, that's kind of how you use the rhythms of the moon, the waxing, and the waning in order to work with your magic. But there are many other contexts and many other ways of going about doing that. So if you're interested, I encourage you to look into that more. So as far as the days of the week are concerned, let's start with Monday. So Monday, and this is I'm going to be talking more about not only the psychological aspects but the magical aspects too. So Monday, they say in the Bengal song, the Manic Monday. So manic has to do with the moon, and that has a lot to do with emotional energy. The moon is associated with divination, so it'd be a good time to do divination, psychic development. It would be good for a lot of different types of magic. Could be for channeling. It also could be used for, if you wanted to create some type of illusion or glamoury, that would work, because if you look at what we talked about with the moon, regarding the moon card, the symbol of the moon is one of illusion, because it appears that the moon is lit up, but it's not its own light, it's the sun's light that is reflected, and the moon is kind of borrowing it. So there's that aspect to it. The color is silver, in case you wanted to work with that. So these would be, when I'm talking about these different subjects and contexts, this would be like, let's say you wanted to work with something on Monday, and then or start a spell or working on the Monday. That's what would be the predominant theme at that time, and it would dovetail with your intention. So Tuesday, that would have to do more with Mars. So that's more aggressive, masculine energy. It could be used for attack magic. You can use it for increases. You could use it to increase your health as far as energy and power. It could also use for protection. It's ruled by the element of fire, and the color is red for Mars. So Wednesday, that's more Mercury. That's also, by the way, I think in the last video, the last St. Expedite video, I talked about starting on a Thursday, but I misspoke. I was thinking more of prosperity. Actually, St. Expedite, you work with him, as tradition goes, beginning on a Wednesday, because it is associated with Mercury and swiftness and quickness. And that is the overall theme of St. Expedite. So, as a side note. But anyway, Wednesday is ruled by Mercury. So that's the element of air. We're dealing with the intellect. We're dealing with quickness. We're dealing with swiftness. That is the color yellow. Since we're dealing with the intellect, if you were doing some magic to help yourself with a test, help you learn, help you study, that would be a perfect day to work on it. It would be starting on a Wednesday. Okay, Thursday, that's ruled by Jupiter. Yay, Jupiter, because Jupiter is responsible for expansiveness, for growth. It is the day to start. A lot of times, if you want to increase your money, increase your abundance, increase your prosperity, it is a really good time to do those sorts of things. And of course, the color is green. So if you want to work with that energy, green is your color. Friday, so that is Venus. That is going to be your love, your sex, your seduction. It's ruled that Friday word comes from a derivation of Freya, the Norse god of love, by the way. So that's going to be more about those themes, indulgence. Even it's kind of funny with these coincidences and these connections that Friday night young people go out. Okay, yeah, let's go have fun and drink and party and have sex and do all these types of things. Friday night, end of the week, let's have fun. All right, so Saturday, Saturn. See, that's an easy one. Saturday's going to be more for delay, destruction, binding. Saturn is considered more of like a little more of a restrictive type of energy, which is why the binding, blocking, stopping things are kind of in order. It is ruled by the color black, and even when Saturn goes retrograde, you know, it's said that things kind of start to go slower, which is kind of the opposite of what would be, let's say, on a Wednesday. So some of these things have opposites. Sunday, just like Monday, ruled by the moon, with moon is represented in the Rider-Waite card, which I have a video on. Just like that, Sunday is ruled by the sun, another card in the Rider-Waite deck. So the sun is going to be more warmth, time for relaxation, and just chilling out and enjoying life. Almost like, I think of it, you know, having a picnic on a Sunday afternoon. That type of feeling, that type of tone, that vibe. So sun, if you want to do it on a Sunday, it's almost like to increase, would be good to maybe increase your general mood and happiness and your satisfaction with life. That's pretty much, you know, what Sunday's about. Spirituality, vitality. You know, I think the spirituality connection is that church probably happens on a Sunday. So the color would be more like kind of gold or yellow gold type of color. So the only other thing I want to say about that is that, okay, so you have the moon phases, which I talked about. They have the days of the week that are ruled by the planets and their energies and their magical context. But also, just to remind you that there are astrological planetary hours that if you really want to be even more OCD about this, is that you can pick your hours about when you want to specifically do it on the day. So you can even go that far. Okay? Please subscribe and like. Put links to things like Patreon if you want to check that out. I'm putting more and more videos on, so especially the second and third parts of certain videos. And on that note, I hope that you have a good rest of the weekend, and I will talk to you all later. Take care.